As the soft evening light wrapped around the grand walls of the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City, Elizabeth Collins stood quietly in the corner, watching everything around her. The gala weekend had begun, and her special exhibition, a dialogue between ancient and modern, had finally opened. After years of work, it was now real, and the people around her, many of them big names in the art world, came one after another to praise her work. Elizabeth had spent the last 10 years slowly building her career as a museum curator. Tonight, dressed in an elegant black silk dress, her calm and confident look drew respect. But even in all this success, a part of her felt alone. Her friend and co-worker, Jennifer, walked up to her with a bright smile, holding 2 glasses of champagne. "Liz, this is amazing, truly, everyone's talking about it. This exhibition is going to be the biggest event of the year," Jennifer said as she handed her one of the glasses. "Thanks," Liz said with a small smile. "It took 3 long years, but it's finally done." Jennifer paused, then asked a question that made Liz's smile fade. "So, when's your sister's wedding?" Liz's face changed for just a second. "Next month," she answered quickly, trying to move on to another topic. That was a lie. The truth was, she didn't know, not the date, not the venue, not even if it had happened already. Her relationship with her younger sister Rebecca, Becky, was complicated, always had been. Becky was a top real estate agent in Manhattan. She was bold, charming, and loved being the center of attention. She knew how to make people like her. Liz, on the other hand, was quiet. She preferred books and art over parties. She liked calm over chaos. Their parents, Martha and Harold, lived a comfortable retired life in Connecticut. Harold had been a successful investment banker, and Martha was always busy with charity events and social gatherings. From the outside, they looked like a perfect family, but behind those smiles and family photos was a truth that no one ever talked about. Growing up, their parents had always favored Becky. They saw her as the delicate one, the one who needed love and help. Liz, on the other hand, was treated like the strong one, the one who could handle things on her own. No matter how hard Liz worked or what she achieved, it never felt like enough. "Liz will be fine," her mother often said, "but Becky needs our support." It didn't matter that Liz was the top student in high school. It didn't matter that her research in graduate school had received awards. It didn't matter that she had been promoted to curator at one of the most respected museums. To her parents, Becky was still the star. When it came to love, it was the same story. Liz had dated in her younger years but never met someone who truly understood her. Her parents often gave her pitying looks, pretending to worry about her being single, but they didn't really care. Deep down, they had already decided that love wasn't meant for her. Becky's love life, though, was always the center of attention. Every boyfriend, every breakup, every tear, her parents were always there to offer comfort, support, and even money. Then, 7 months ago, Becky had excitedly announced her engagement to Jason Foster, a rich, charming investment banker from a well-known family. At the engagement party, Liz met Jason for the first time. From the moment they shook hands, something didn't sit right with her. His smile felt fake, his words felt rehearsed. The way he looked at her made her uncomfortable, as if he was sizing her up. He seems familiar, Liz thought, but she couldn't figure out why. Still, she told herself, if Becky is happy, that's all that matters. She pushed her uneasy feeling aside. But that quiet feeling inside her, that warning, was the beginning of something much bigger. As the gala night came to an end, Liz checked her phone. No messages from her parents, nothing from Becky either, not a single "congratulations" text about her successful exhibition. She should have expected that, but tonight had been special, and the silence still hurt. A week later, on a quiet Thursday evening, Liz curled up on her couch with a glass of wine. The apartment was peaceful. She opened Instagram and started scrolling, just something to pass the time. That's when she saw it. A photo, posted by her friend Sophia. The hashtag said, #FosterWedding. Liz stared at it in disbelief. The photo showed a beautiful church decorated with white flowers, a champagne tower, and in the center, Becky and Jason. Becky wore a stunning white dress, glowing with joy. Liz froze. She checked the date. The photo had been posted last Saturday, the same day as her exhibition's opening gala. She quickly opened more posts, the fancy cake, the dance floor full of people, her parents smiling proudly, Martha in a glamorous dress, Harold standing tall in a new tuxedo. And Liz, nowhere. She hadn't been invited. At first, she couldn't believe it. Maybe there had been a mistake, maybe the invitation got lost, maybe they didn't have her new address. But no, she had lived in the same apartment for 3 years, her family knew that. With shaking hands, Liz called her mother. No answer. She tried her father. Nothing. Becky's phone went straight to voicemail. She stared at the Instagram photos again. Her family looked so happy, so full of life, not a single sign that anyone had missed her. For the rest of the weekend, Liz kept trying. Calls, messages, silence. By Monday, she couldn't focus on her work. The pain wouldn't go away. By Wednesday, she made up her mind. She would go to her parents' house. She asked for Friday off and drove to Connecticut on Thursday evening. When she arrived, the big White House looked the same from the outside, but inside, something felt different. Right in the hallway was a giant photo from the wedding. Becky and Jason, hand in hand at the altar, her parents beside them, smiling proudly. But Liz was not in the picture. Martha walked out of the living room, surprised to see her. "Oh, Liz, what are you doing here? You should have called first." Liz tried to stay calm. "I saw the wedding photos," she said. "Why wasn't I told? Why wasn't I invited?" Martha's smile faded. She looked uncomfortable. "Well, plans changed last minute. Jason's schedule was tight. We meant to let you know, but you were busy, weren't you?" "That's not true," Liz said quietly. "You knew about my exhibition. You knew how important it was. You didn't forget. You left me out." Her father, Harold, walked in. "Elizabeth, why are you here?" She looked at him. "Why wasn't I invited to Becky's wedding?" There was a long silence. Her parents exchanged a look. Finally, her mother sighed. "Look, honestly, it didn't seem like it concerned you. You're single, Liz. Everyone else came with a partner. We didn't want you to feel out of place, or make others uncomfortable." Those words hit her like a slap. "Uncomfortable?" Liz asked. "Why would my being single make anyone uncomfortable?" "It was Becky's big day," Martha said. "We didn't want anything to ruin it. Jason's family is very successful. We wanted everything to be perfect." Liz's voice trembled. "So I don't fit into your perfect picture?" "You're reading too much into this," Harold said. "It's just a wedding. You still have your work, your life. What does it matter?" Liz looked at her father's face, the same man who used to cheer at her graduation, who once called her brilliant. Now, she only saw coldness. "You're right," she said softly. "My life hasn't changed, but now I see how little I mattered to all of you." She turned to leave. "Don't be so dramatic," Martha called. "Becky has always needed more. You've always been strong. I didn't think this would upset you." Liz stopped at the door. "Being left out of your family's lives is not something small." "Oh, come on," her mother said. "The wedding cost over $50,000. It was beautiful." Liz didn't reply. She opened the door and stepped into the night. The cool air touched her cheeks, still warm from anger and pain. She looked back at the house, her childhood home, but now, it felt like it belonged to strangers. Back in her apartment, Liz sat on her couch, looking again at the wedding photos on her phone. She cried, deep, aching sobs. Not just because she had been left out, but because she had finally seen the truth. She wasn't part of their world anymore. But in that heartbreak, something inside her grew stronger. "I am no longer a victim," she thought. "This is personal," Liz said softly, her face serious. "Something just doesn't feel right. I can't explain it, it's just a gut feeling." 3 days later, she got a call from Marcus, the private investigator she had hired. "Liz," he said, "your instincts were right. This man calling himself Jason Foster, he also goes by the name Michael Harris, and he doesn't work for Goldman Sachs. He's not even employed by any big company. He's an independent investment advisor, and he's been using more than one identity." Liz felt her stomach twist painfully. Her hands started to shake. "What else did you find?" she asked in a quiet voice. Marcus continued. "He visits a town called Montclair in New Jersey pretty often. I don't know why yet, but I'm looking into it." Liz thanked him and asked him to keep digging, but something inside her told her not to wait. That weekend, she drove to Montclair herself. Montclair was a peaceful suburban town filled with tall trees and cozy houses. Following the address Marcus gave her, Liz stopped in front of a small, charming colonial-style home. There was a little red tricycle and a small blue bicycle parked near the front steps. Her heart began to race. She stayed in the car, her eyes glued to the front door. Around 2 in the afternoon, the door opened. A young boy, maybe 7 or 8, stepped out, holding the hand of a beautiful woman with golden hair tied up in a neat bun. They looked like a perfect little family. Liz watched as the woman and child started walking toward the nearby park. On impulse, she got out of her car and followed them. At the park, the woman helped the boy onto the swing set before sitting down on a nearby bench. Liz sat on the bench next to her, trying to seem casual. "He's a lovely boy," Liz said with a warm smile. "Thank you," the woman replied kindly. "His name is Aiden, he'll be 8 soon." They chatted for a while, and Liz learned that the woman's name was Samantha. She seemed friendly, open, but Liz had a heavy heart. She couldn't keep pretending. "I actually came here because I needed to ask you something," Liz said gently. "It's about your husband, Michael Harris." Samantha's smile faded instantly, her eyes narrowed, and she sat up straighter. "Who are you?" she asked carefully. "My name is Elizabeth Collins," Liz said quietly. "My younger sister just got married to a man named Jason Foster, but I believe he might actually be your husband, Michael Harris." Samantha's face turned pale. Without a word, she pulled out her phone and tapped the screen. She showed Liz a photo. "Is this who you're talking about?" It was a picture of Jason, smiling, his arm around Samantha. Liz nodded slowly. "Yes," she said, her voice breaking. "That's him." Tears filled Samantha's eyes. "We got married 10 years ago," she whispered. "He always said he had work trips, said he was busy with business in New York." Her voice cracked, and her hands trembled. They sat together on that bench for a long time, talking. Samantha showed Liz her marriage certificate, Aiden's birth certificate, family photos, everything. It was all true. The man Liz knew as Jason Foster was living a secret second life as Michael Harris, with a wife and a son. "He always said he spent part of the week in the city," Samantha said through tears. "Sometimes he said he had to travel overseas." Before they parted, Samantha gave Liz a copy of a family photo, Jason, smiling, holding his son with Samantha beside them. "This was from Aiden's birthday party last month," she said bitterly. "He didn't mention getting married to anyone else. I think he planned to keep living both lives." Driving back to New York, Liz felt numb. Her mind was spinning. She had proof. Now she had to tell Becky and their parents. But how? That night, Liz returned to her apartment and found a message waiting for her from Becky. "Visiting tomorrow. I've got the wedding album." Liz stared at the message. Her heart ached for her sister. She looked down at the envelope on her table, the one filled with Samantha's photos and documents. Tomorrow, everything would change. The next afternoon, Becky arrived at Liz's apartment. She was dressed to impress, fancy sunglasses, a designer dress, her nails done perfectly. "Special delivery," she said cheerfully, holding up a shiny album. Liz opened the door without saying much. Her face was calm, but her eyes were serious. "Coffee or wine?" she asked. "Wine today," Becky chirped. "Married life is amazing. Jason made me the most romantic dinner last night. He's the perfect husband." While Becky talked, Liz quietly poured the wine. On the table sat the envelope, waiting. "Here's the album," Becky said proudly, handing it over. "Mom had it custom-made. I brought you your own copy." Liz flipped through the album slowly. So many perfect pictures, staged smiles, the happy kiss at the end. Then she looked up. "Tell me more about Jason." Becky smiled dreamily. "He's brilliant, graduated from Harvard, works in finance. He's getting a big bonus soon. We're looking at a luxury condo in Manhattan." "Does he travel a lot?" "Oh yes, constantly, but that's part of the job," Becky said. "I miss him sometimes, but I guess that's normal in marriage." Liz reached for the envelope and opened it. "There's something I want to show you," she said softly. "Ooh, is it a gift?" Becky asked with a grin. Liz slid a photo onto the table. Jason, with his arms around Samantha and Aiden, all smiling in front of a birthday cake. Becky stared at it. Her smile vanished. Her face turned pale. What is this?" she whispered. "This was taken in Montclair last month," Liz said gently. Becky looked at the photo like it was poison. "It's fake. Someone photoshopped it. It's not real." "It's very real," Liz replied. "That woman is Samantha Harris. She married Michael Harris, your Jason, 10 years ago. And that boy is their son, Aiden. No, Becky said, her voice rising, you're just jealous. You've always hated that I was happy. She picked up her phone and dialed. Jason, come to Liz's now. She's saying horrible things about you. Liz pulled more papers from the envelope, marriage certificate, birth certificate, family records. Becky snatched them and looked through them with shaking hands. They're fake. They have to be. But doubt was in her eyes now. He lied to you, Becky, Liz said quietly. He has a whole other family. 20 minutes later, the doorbell rang. Jason stepped inside, looking nervous and pale. What's going on? He asked. Liz pointed to the photos on the table. Michael Harris or Jason Foster, which name is real? Jason froze. This is a mistake. I can explain. Who are they, then? Becky demanded, her voice shaking as she pointed at the photo. Jason tried to lie. That's my sister and her kid. No, Liz said. She pulled out her phone and played a recording of Samantha's voice. Michael and I were married in 2013. He said he worked in New York part of the week. Our son Aiden was born in 2016. Jason's face turned white. Becky slapped him hard across the face. A son? A secret wife? Was our whole marriage a lie? I love you, Becky, Jason said, his voice desperate. I was going to leave Samantha. I just needed more time. You threw Aiden a birthday party last month, Becky screamed. You had no plans to leave anyone. Becky called their parents, who rushed over. When Martha and Harold saw the documents and photos, they were stunned. We spent over $50,000 on this wedding, Martha said, trembling. And you were already married? Jason tried to blame Liz. She just wanted to ruin this marriage. But Becky cut him off. No, Liz tried to protect me. I didn't listen. I owe her everything. Even their parents looked at Liz with regret. I'm sorry, Martha said softly. We were wrong. Jason got up, glaring. Is this what you wanted? To break everything apart? This isn't over. I'm reporting you, Liz said, for fraud, too. Jason stormed out. Becky stood there, tears falling freely. Liz stepped forward and held her sister tightly. Everything's going to be okay, she whispered. You're not alone.